This episode is brought to you by Amazon Business. We could all use more time. Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions, so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. I can see why they call it smart. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Welcome to From Dorms to Desks, job hunting tips for those early in their careers. A podcast brought to you by College Recruiter job search site, which believes that every student and recent grad deserves a great career, and hosted by Work Defined. Join our AI co-hosts as they dive into tips, tricks, and insights that will help you land your next part-time, seasonal, internship, or entry-level job. Let's get your career started.
Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're tackling something I know a lot of you are thinking about. Is an MBA actually worth it? I mean, it's a big decision, right? Like you finish up your undergrad and then bam, it's like, do I jump into the job market or is it back to school?
Yeah, it's a tough one for sure. And I think with how expensive school is getting and how much the job market is changing, it's even tougher now.
Oh, for sure. And, a lot of people, I think, they see an MBA as this like golden ticket, to get ahead in their career.
Right.
And speaking of getting ahead, we found this article. It's from College Recruiter. They actually lay out 5 big reasons why people go for their MBAs. I actually have a friend. She just got hers, and her career is just booming.
Wow, that's great to hear. Seeing how it works out for people in real life is always helpful.
Totally. But let's see what the article says.
Okay.
So first up, they talk about the money.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense, right? This is a big factor for a lot of folks. They even mentioned this study is from the Journal's Education for Business, and it found that if you graduate from one of the top 50 MBA programs, you can expect a 50% salary bump right out of the gate. And get this, within 5 years, they're making almost double what they were making before the MBA.
Wow. Those numbers are pretty eye-opening, I have to say, and they do kind of show you why people are so drawn to getting an MBA. But I think it's important to remember, right, those numbers they're talking about are for the top programs. It might not be the same, for every MBA program out there. And also, you got to think about the cost, like how much is tuition, and will you really make that much more money, especially depending on, like, what you specialize in?
That's such a good point. It's not just about getting the letters after your name. Yeah. It's got to be the right program, and it has to make sense, financially. But, okay, the article also points out that MBAs, they aren't just for people who want to be CEOs or even just like those classic business jobs. Yeah. They actually talk about how the skills you learn, they're useful for all kinds of management roles, even stuff like software development or information security, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. And that's a key takeaway, I think, from an MBA. It's not just like finance and accounting. It's about getting better at leadership and thinking strategically and problem solving, which are all super useful no matter what field you're in.
Yeah. It's like you become this like super adaptable professional, and that's got to be valuable nowadays. And speaking of valuable, the article also talks about the benefits that aren't just about the money. One that really stuck with me was how an MBA helps you make better financial decisions.
Yeah.
And not just at work, but like in your personal life too.
Oh, totally. And another great thing about MBA programs is the networking you get to do. You're surrounded by all these super driven people, future leaders in all kinds of fields. Those connections could lead to who knows what down the line, partnerships, collaborations, job offers even.
Yeah. That networking is huge. You never know who you'll meet or what could come out of it. And actually, speaking of opportunities, the article mentions how an MBA can really give entrepreneurs an advantage.
Interesting.
I have another friend who started this really successful food truck business after he got his MBA. He told me that the program gave him the knowledge and the confidence to actually go for it.
That makes a lot of sense. For anyone who wants to start their own business, an MBA can give you those core business skills, everything from handling PR and spotting trends in the market to managing money well, which is obviously super important for a startup.
Yeah, it's like you get years of experience crammed into a really intense program, and you're building this network of people who could be investors or partners or mentors all at the same time.
Totally. It's pretty powerful. And, we can't forget about that classic resume boost you get from an MBA. The article talks about how just having MBA on your resume can help you stand out, makes you more likely to get a new job, get a raise, maybe even land those really cool projects that everyone wants. Yeah. Having an MBA definitely looks good on a resume, but I think it's really important to remember that the value of it, well, kind of depends on your field and what your career goals are. Like some industries, they put more emphasis on MBAs than others. So you really got to do your homework, make sure that the program you pick actually lines up with where you want to go.
Yeah, you're totally right. It's not just about having those 3 letters after your name. It's got to be the right program for your career path, long term.
Yeah, exactly. Got to be strategic about it. And speaking of strategy, that brings us to the last point in the article about job security.
Okay.
They say that in today's job market, having an MBA could be the difference between having a stable job and, well, getting laid off. No one wants to feel like their skills are outdated, right?
Oh, totally. I mean, especially with all this new technology changing things so fast, it feels like a lot of people are worried about that.
Mm-hmm.
I can see how an MBA could, give you some peace of mind.
It definitely can help you stay competitive and learn new skills, but I think it's important to remember that no degree, even an MBA, can guarantee you job security. The job market, it's always changing, and to really be successful, you got to keep learning and adapting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
An MBA can give you the tools to do that, but it's not some magic solution.
So it's not like a guarantee, but it's definitely a good thing to have.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot, like the potential for higher salaries and the networking and maybe even more job security that an MBA could offer. But now I'm kind of curious about the other side of things. Are there any downsides or things people should really consider before they jump into an MBA program?
That is a great question. It's super important to think about the whole picture. One thing that people sometimes forget is the opportunity cost. When you decide to do an MBA, especially if it's a full-time program, you're basically taking time off from working, which means you could be missing out on 2 years worth of salary and promotions and actual on-the-job experience.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's a big deal. It's not just about the tuition. It's the money you're not making while you're in school. And 2 years, that's a long time if you're ready to start your career.
Yeah, it can be a big factor, especially if you're already further along in your career and taking a step back to do the MBA. Another thing is you got to be ready for the commitment. MBA programs, they're known for being tough and intense. We're talking long nights, studying, difficult classes, and a lot of times group projects, which, well, those can be a challenge on their own.
Oh, I've heard stories about those group projects. They sound intense.
It can be. You really have to be realistic about whether you're up for that, if it fits with your life right now and what your priorities are. It's not just about being smart enough. It's about managing your time, being dedicated, and having good support so you can do well in that kind of environment.
So it's not just brains. You got to know yourself and what you can handle. And that kind of leads into another big thing, your career goals. You mentioned earlier that an MBA can be awesome for moving up in your career, but you really got to have a clear idea of how it fits with what you want to do, right?
Exactly. Don't just do an MBA because it sounds fancy or because everyone else is doing it. Think about what you want to achieve, long term. What skills do you need? What knowledge? Will an MBA really help you get there?
It's about having a plan, knowing where you want to go.
Yeah.
And it sounds like there isn't just one way to do it. I mean, there are different types of MBA programs, full-time, part-time, online. How do you even figure out which one is right for you?
That's where the research comes in, and a lot of self-reflection, too.
Yeah.
Each type of program, it has pros and cons, depending on your situation and what you're aiming for. A full-time program can be really immersive, but it costs more and takes more time.
So if you're working full-time already or you have a family, maybe part-time or online would be better.
Exactly. It's all about finding the program that fits with your life, your needs, and your career goals.
I'm hearing a theme here. Do your research, know yourself, and be strategic. Is there anything else people should think about when they're choosing a program?
Well, besides the structure of the program, you got to look at the school's reputation, if it's accredited, how good the teachers are, what classes they offer, and what kind of career services they have. Not all MBA programs are the same.
So it's like picking a college. You want to make sure it's a good program, that it'll give you the skills and the connections you need to be successful.
Exactly. It's an investment in your future, so you want to make sure it's a good one.
Okay, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed with all this information, but in a good way. It's clear that getting an MBA is a big decision. There's a lot to think about.
It really is. And ultimately, the decision comes down to each person and what's going on in their life. There's no right or wrong answer. It's about figuring out what's best for you.
Yeah, it really sounds like the big takeaway is an MBA can really help you in your career, but it's not like a magic solution for everyone.
Right. It's something you got to think about carefully and strategically, weigh those potential benefits against the cost. think about what you might be missing out on, and most importantly, make sure the program you choose, it really works for your situation and where you want to be in your career, long term.
It's all about doing that research, knowing yourself, and making a smart choice that feels good to you. And I think that's a great place to wrap things up.
I agree. But before we go, I want to leave you with one last question to think about. We talked about the money, the career stuff, what you might miss out on, and how important it is to find the right program. But aside from all that, are there any other things, maybe personal values or things going on in your life that might make a difference in your decision about getting an MBA? What about you? Like, what unique things or goals might play a role in your choice?
That's a really good question. I think it shows you how personal this decision really is. It's like taking all this info, all these different points, and seeing how they fit into your life, your goals, what success means to you.
Exactly. In the end, deciding to get an MBA is about taking charge of your own path and making a choice that feels right for you.
I like that. Well, we hope this deep dive gave you some good things to think about as you figure this out. Remember, there's no one right answer. It's all about what's right for you.
Good luck with your journey.
And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us on the deep dive. We'll see you next time.
This has been From Dorms to Desks, job hunting tips for those early in their careers. A podcast brought to you by College Recruiter job search site, which believes that every student and recent grad deserves a great career. Each episode, we dive into tips, tricks, and insights that will help you land your next part-time, seasonal, internship, or entry-level job. Subscribe to this podcast for free now, so you don't miss an episode, and visit www.collegerecruiter.com to find your next great job.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I don't know if you've heard, but Mint's premium wireless is $15 a month. But I'd like to offer one other perk. We have no stores. That means no small talk. Crazy weather we're having. No, it's not. It's just weather. It is an introvert's dream. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.